What's up guys, Tech Flash here, and today we have the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and the Samsung Galaxy Note 20. Now both these devices are the Exynos variant and both these devices come with 8 GB of RAM. So we are going to compare these devices to see whether there is a difference if you buy an Ultra device or a normal one. I don't think so there will be much of a difference. The only differentiating factor between both these devices is going to be the display, because in this cell phone you have a 120Hz display, while on this one you have a 60Hz panel, and also this one has a curved display. But I don't think so that the differences that both these devices offer have to do anything with performance, but we are going to see whether this affects the performance or not. So the first test that we are going to do is going to be the boot up test. So turning these devices on at a similar time, and to be very honest, both these devices were very similar, and I believe that both these devices will turn on at the same time. We have the same Samsung logo popping up. The Note 20 Ultra was a slight faster, but I don't know whether this was because of the fact that this device started a bit faster. I don't know. But both these devices were quite similar. Okay, so for next test we are going to do the biometrics test, and we are going to see which in-display fingerprint scanner is the faster one. And I think both these in-display fingerprint scanner use similar sensors, because both of them are performing equally well. Now for the front Face ID test, and I believe it was also quite similar, and we are basically seeing a pattern here that both these devices are quite similar when it comes to all these tasks. The next up thing that we are going to do is surely going to be the application test. Now this is one thing that I believe that we can easily tell that which device is faster. I'm not expecting these devices to perform any different, but this is just a test to see whether our theory is right or wrong. So the first application that I'm going to open is going to be the dialer application. Quite similar. Message, quite similar. The browser application, and it was again quite similar. Now for the browser one, I also want to do something that will set the basic parameters, and that is going to be the basic application loading times. So we will see that which of this browser setup will load the websites faster. Twitter. I hope you notice the fact that when I click on any application, or when I click on these signs, this one is the first device to respond, but this one actually loads the whole website faster. And you can see that this time around Note 20 Ultra was quite faster when compared to Note 20. Next up we have the camera application, and you can see it's quite similar. Now let's try something more serious. Let's try Temple Run 2. And I believe both of these are loading it at a similar pace, and you can see both these are quite similar when it comes to performance. So I'm not seeing any major difference between both these devices, but I'm still going to keep everything in the memory just to see which device keeps everything in the memory. Okay, so next up we have PUBG, and I believe I was a bit slower when pressing the button. I don't know, because Note 20 is actually slightly ahead, but I think that was just because my finger was a bit slow. Okay, on this one I personally believe that Note 20 actually was the faster device, because even like taking everything into account, Note 20 loaded everything much faster. Next up we have a social media, Instagram, and yeah, both of these are quite similar, and the experience of whole usage is actually quite different, because when you are scrolling, that 120Hz refresh rate is actually a lot in play, and the overall experience becomes quite different for both these devices. Now I don't know whether you can see it on camera or not, but actually using these devices is quite different because of that simple 120Hz refresh rate. Okay, so let's try Angry Birds 2. And again I am seeing Note 20 a bit faster, and I am again going to give it the benefit of doubt that my finger was a bit slower on the Note 20 Ultra, or maybe this device is actually faster, because you can see that this is already loaded up, and the difference between both these devices is actually not the difference that we can do with just a sleight of hand. However, the final thing that I want to see is going to be the video editing. So I'm going to take a 1080p clip and edit it out and export it to see which device performs faster. Okay, so the results are a bit surprising right now, because you can see that Note 20 is on 26% while the Note 20 Ultra is on 72%, and I honestly don't know what is the exact reason behind this gap, because everything else was quite similar on both these devices. But Note 20 Ultra is clearly the faster one, because you can see that export is already successful on this one, while on this one we are stuck at like 46% or something. So it is quite surprising for me to see something like this, because the difference is huge. Now I don't know what was the exact reason. This could be some error on my part, but I don't think so there was something that I could do, because both these devices are like having the same video with the same theme applied, and then I exported it to the 480p. So we are going to see that. Okay, so the final results are here, and as you can see, both these devices are playing the similar video, because both these devices were editing out the same video, but I don't know why the results are different. However, I want to include here that both these devices are early review units, so things can change when the retail version arrives, and I am now trying to figure out what happened, and if there is something that I realize, then I will let you know in the comment section down below. But for now, the results are actually quite surprising. The final thing that I want to see is going to be whether both these devices are keeping everything in the memory. So we are going to try PUBG, and as you can see, both these devices loaded it up, and both these devices had PUBG in the memory. So the next thing that we can try is going to be Instagram, and you can see that Instagram was also in the memory. So as far as the memory management is concerned, both these devices are performing quite similar, but I don't know what happened with the software and what happened with the video editing side of things, because both these devices performed quite different. Now I want to know what are your thoughts and opinions regarding both these devices, and whether you want me to compare these devices in at a later stage or something. But for now, this is it from our side. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.